Dear students of class 8A and 8B, welcome to my history and civics class. Today, I am going to teach you the lesson Industrial Revolution and Imperialism. But some points already I have taught you. But on request of some students, few students of class 8A and few students of class 8B, I have decided to re-explain certain points from the same lesson. Only because of their satisfaction, I am doing it. Now look at the points as I mentioned in this chart. Please look at it. What is it? These are some points mentioned in the chart. The first point, what is it? The first point is advantages of England. Advantages of England. Advantages of England. What advantages? Advantages of England. What advantages? The advantages of England means how did England get herself benefited in during industrial age or industrial era. Now I am going to discuss it. You know, England was a country of the world for the first time realized that she required many natural resources, she required large markets as she started producing goods through machines. A number of scientists started inventing a number of machines. So machines started working in place of manual work of the people. So machines started producing bulk quantity of goods. So there came a revolution in the field of industry. Finished products were kept ready to supply. Many countries of Europe, Asia and Africa had been eagerly waiting to purchase the finished products from England. But what was required most was a link. What was required most? A route, a sea route between England and Asia, Europe and Africa. What was required most? The natural resources, the raw materials, so that England must utilize it for her factories and industries in England. That's why what things England started first? England started establishing a number of colonies throughout Far East. So this is the meaning of the first point, advantages of England. Besides, what are the advantages of England? England was a country situated beside riversides. Thames River was there. Sea route was there. Large benefits came from coal mines. Large benefit came from cheap laborers. Moreover, a number of scientists, they left their motherlands for earning better income, better money in England. So they left their motherlands and reached England. England offered them a handful amount of money. Naturally, they left their motherlands in order to lead a very modern lifestyle in order to enjoy rest of their life. Another advantage of England was discussed during the last class I conducted this very day. The political advantages of England. Political advantages. England was a country politically was stable than other countries of Europe. That's why industrial revolution could not take place in other parts of Europe, Africa or Asia. I am discussing about Europe, so we should discuss about Europe only. Industrial revolution was not possible. Industrial revolution could not take place in Europe, in different parts of Europe, but only in England. Why? Because England was politically stable country. Moreover, financial stability of England was more powerful than other countries of Europe. England had not spent much amount of money while fighting against her enemies like other countries of Europe. You see, in America, she remained busy in solving her internal problems. You see, France remained busy in solving her problems. Russia, these were the countries of Europe. They all remained busy in solving their internal crises and internal problems. But England had not faced such kind of problems. As a result, England was able to witness the industrial age or industrial era. Second point, agrarian revolution. Second point, agrarian revolution. Agrarian revolution. What is agrarian revolution? Point number 2, you see, agrarian revolution. Agrarian revolution. You know, in the field of agriculture, there came a remarkable change. There came a remarkable change throughout Europe. Invention of different agricultural equipments done by the scientists became helpful to the farmers, landlords, and money lenders. They invested their money, utilized it for rich landlords, middle class people, and people who had a little acres of land. They all depended on the money lenders, and they all had to depend on these agricultural equipments. By using these agricultural implements, they were able to produce bulk quantities of crops from their agricultural lands. Agricultural laborers cultivated crops and produced a very minimum quantities of agricultural crops. But as soon as agricultural implements were introduced by the scientists, discovered by the scientists, and it started working there, it produced bulk quantities of agricultural crops, which helped which helped the rich people who invested their money for agriculture to earn better income. Naturally, their effort, whatever effort was made by, whatever efforts were done by the, agriculturists, moneylenders, rich people who already have invested their money in agriculture, now they got themselves benefited. Third point, good transporting facility. Good transporting facility. Third point, good transporting facility. Good transporting facility. As soon as England realized that they needed good transporting system for supplying their finished products for other countries of Europe, for other countries of Asia. Whenever England realized it that collecting of natural resources, raw materials from different countries of Asia was very important to them, so that they must meet their expenses, they must meet the growing demands of their factories and industries in England. It decided to set up railway tracks throughout different parts of Asia, Europe and Africa, where it established her colonies. For example, our country, India, the British established a large railway network. Now, what was their purpose? Their main purpose was to supply finished products and collect natural resources, raw materials of India, so that it must be supplied to their own country, England. They wanted to sell their goods, they wanted to supply their finished products throughout the large market of India. At the same time, they decided to take out the natural resources of India, raw materials of India for their industrial growth and development in England. So in order to serve their own purpose, the British had established the railway network system in India and other, colonies of Far East. The next point number 4, discovery of new steam power. Discovery of new steam power. James Watt, discovered steam power. As a result of it, steam engine also was discovered. And with the help of the steam power, there came a remarkable development, a revolution in the field of agriculture, in the field of, better mechanization, in the field of agricultural development, in the field of, manufacturing growth and development. Everywhere there came a remarkable development as soon as, steam power was properly utilized by the people. And next point number 5, growth of new towns. Growth of new towns. Point number 5, growth of new towns. Growth of new towns. As soon as industrial revolution, gave an impetus, its outcome inspired a lot of people who migrated themselves from one place to another for better earning, better money. Villagers started leaving their villages. They reached towns and cities. Naturally, it gave a birth of new towns, new cities. A number of villagers wanted to lead a very modern lifestyle. They wanted to provide their children education. They wanted to lead a very happy and prosperous life because they heard that town life was better than village life. Almost all villagers were illiterates. They did not want to be illiterate persons. That's why they decided to make their children educated. Hence they left their villages. But ultimately they all became factory laborers. But they realized that what income they started earning from there could not meet their minimum requirement, minimum demands. That's why some, factory owners, some money lenders, some industrialists decided to offer their children to be child laborers in their factories and industries. They also offered their women to be factory laborers. In order to earn better money, better income, they allowed their children and women to be the workers in factories and industries. Next point number 6, the nature of work. The nature of work. Point number 6, you see, look at point number 6, the nature of work. Point number 6, the nature of work. What is it? What was about the nature of work? What kind of work people had to do? Agricultural laborers had no life. They felt sometimes monotonous. Their life had become very monotonous. Sometimes they felt monotony. Why? Because it had a routine work. It had a routine work. They had to do work from dawn till the morning, till the next dawn. That means sometimes they worked the whole night. It gave them extra income. They wanted to make money. They wanted to earn extra income. That's why they sometimes had to do overtime. This offer was given to them in the interest of the industrialists. As soon as the industrialists felt that their productive goods had huge demand in different parts of world, they realized that more and more cheap laborers were required to them. And those who have become the cheap laborers of their factories and industries, those who had become factory laborers in their factories and industries, they were asked to provide their children and women, to make them agree to be factory workers and laborers in their factories and industries. It is due to that reason, my dear students, a number of women, number of children joined them as factory laborers. The members of those families who came forward to be factory laborers, and the process by which they started earning money collectively, temporarily removed their distress. But the condition under which circumstances they had to live was not good, was very unhygienic and unhealthy atmosphere they had to live. Last point, my dear students, pollution, deterioration of health. Pollution, last point, pollution, deterioration of health. Last point. You know, the smoke which came out from factories and industries, it polluted the atmosphere. It polluted atmosphere. Besides, the situation where factory laborers had to live was very unhygienic and unhealthy. The miserable conditions of the peasants and farmers, factory laborers, brought notice to a number of reformers, philosophers. They came forward in order to help them so that they must lead at least a minimum happy life. What they were doing was good for the factory owners and industrialists, because they were earning a lot of money at the cost of factory laborers, although they were cheap laborers. But their contribution, you see, how much contribution they had extended for the factory owners and factory and industrialists. This kind of issues were thoroughly discussed, and the drawbacks of the factory laborers, the miserable conditions of the factory laborers also were thoroughly discussed by the reformers, by the philosophers. Under such circumstances, certain changes came in their lives. The factory owners decided to give them many concessions so that their problems could be solved temporarily. Up to this, my dear students. Thank you.